Hey, what's up, guys? Just so you know, we got our lovely ladies with us. We're taking shots before this Godzilla. It's only right. It's Godzilla versus Kong.
We had to do it to him.
Everybody cheers. Godzilla versus Kong.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Godzilla.
What's up, fuckers?
What it do, baby?
Welcome back.
We back.
All right, so today, as you know, we talking about that Godzilla versus Kong. I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute now. Obviously, I had the wedding, so we couldn't talk about it. And we wanted to come back from the wedding with an actual horror flick.
Yep.
And so now we're back and we're talking about the Monsterverse.
Yep. Horror adjacent. Godzilla vs. Kong. Not really a horror movie. But a lot would argue the horror community loves Godzilla and Kong. And we'd be remiss if we didn't cover it. We're also going to do Mortal Kombat in the future, so that's going to be fire. That's a little more horror adjacent in my opinion, because you've got
For sure.
Mortal Kombat X, where it's Alien, Freddy, Jason, all them. But we've been talking about covering Godzilla vs. Kong before this movie even came out.
We're both fans of it. I think we grew up watching it, even like the original 2000?
I mean, 2000
2000?
is... I hate that movie.
Matthew Broderick?
But I love Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
I have a lot of grievances with that movie. But I grew up watching like the VHSs of Godzilla. The 70s, 80s. My mom had them all on VHS for us. So I was watching Godzilla versus Ghidorah, like Godzilla versus Mecha, like all of that back then. But like back when Mecha looked like a Tin Man.
Yeah.
Shit was crazy back then.
I used to play a lot of the Godzilla games. Like back in the GameCube.
Oh, yeah.
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 With like when I was doing Godzilla versus I didn't know who the fuck these people were until
Yeah, you're just fighting as the monsters.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
But our first segment's gonna be on the story today. So.
Yeah. We wanted to talk storyline. I think it's got a real good storyline to it. Because really, I say real good storyline. It's not incredible. It's not amazing. It's not gonna blow your socks off. But it is acceptable to get to where it makes sense that Godzilla and Kong are fighting, and that's all we really were here to see anyway. Unless you wanted more out of a giant lizard versus a giant ape. Don't know what else you wanted.
You know, it's kind of like Freddy versus Jason. You know what I'm saying? Like you're there to see them fight.
Cheesy fun.
But before we do that, we gotta chug our beers.
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
Got
Thank you
cans
for
today.
sponsoring us, even though you're not actually sponsoring.
Not sponsoring us.
Yeah, if you will. You will.
So. Oh, I may have to burp before this. Or no, let's just
I'll let you handle it, bro. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Or do you think like
let's
you
chug and then
you'll
burp
burp
after? Yeah.
All right, bet.
Yeah, right
Cheers,
into the
bro.
microphone. Yep.
Okay.
There it is. Ooh. That doesn't get easier. It never gets easier.
Are my eyes watering again? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I thought you were just crying.
Yeah, I'm just so happy to be covering this. Fuck.
Oh man,
Bro.
we good?
I haven't done that in a while.
We sound like so weak when we talk when we chug.
Yeah,
we're done. We're like on deathbed.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of bitches. That's all. It's tough, man.
Oh, Jesus.
I haven't done that in a while. Obviously, we didn't do it last week either.
Yeah, I hope well because we changed our format, so we weren't going to do one every episode. So we wanted to kick off the weekly feature with it. So this will be the first episode. At least y'all saw us chug one time, and then we'll have sippers for the rest of the other two episodes. So with that being said, Justin,
Romo,
let's talk about some Godzilla vs. Kong.
All right, bro.
So we know storyline is trying to get us into why these two are fighting each other.
Yeah,
And
from the
went,
beginning.
Yep, and they went into they based it on the storyline before we get into the characters and everything. They based it on the storyline to have Kong is at Skull Island, and Kong is Skull Island's not big enough for Kong anymore. It's fantastic. Skull Island is not fitting Kong anymore, so they're worried about transporting Kong, this secret government agency, because if Godzilla realizes there's another Titan still out there, so look, I don't know where the other Titans are. I guess, I don't know if they've killed them all. I know Godzilla had a bunch of them gather at King of Monsters, but if Godzilla senses that Kong is out there, like, because they were just going to transport him by water, then Godzilla's going to come for him. Because he senses that there's another Titan out there, another Alpha Titan, and they have an ancient rivalry.
Godzilla's the man.
Yeah.
Just to touch up on what he was saying, the movie starts out with this deaf girl. So whenever it comes to Kong, right, there's always somebody that has a relationship with Kong. The early movie in I don't know what year that was, but with Jack Black, you know, it's iconic when you see him on the Empire State.
Yeah. Which we'll talk about.
Yeah. Very iconic when you see that, but he always has a relationship with some girl.
Yeah.
And it happened you saw this at the very beginning of this movie with the deaf girl who was like, I don't know, 9, 10-ish maybe.
Yeah, probably about that age.
Yeah.
It shows how intelligent Kong is because we realize he can interact with this girl.
Yeah.
And he can read her signs.
They're doing like, sorry, that's fuck you. That's not what I meant. But they're doing like sign language.
The only sign language
it's the only thing I know. So,
Jesus.
But they're doing like sign language, and that's how, and they're talking to each other. And I guess that the community that he's, I don't know, community, this forest, whatever.
Well, it's Skull Island.
Yeah. But wherever he's in right now, I guess it's like closed off.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's seen Skull Island.
Yeah, because Skull Island is one of the outlets for Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Which, that's where all the Titans come out of. So they just enclosed it, and now, like, it's just a safe space to keep Kong away from other people, and it emulates where he's from. So...
Yeah, and it's, well, also because, it's keep not only him, but I guess to keep other people safe too, because we don't know how he's going to interact with other humans. It just so happens that he interacts with this little girl who happens to be deaf.
He ends up lashing out also, which is why they need to transport him.
Yeah, well, because he's growing.
Yeah.
And
noticeably bigger.
Yeah. I think they did it on purpose, obviously, because Kong's like this big, gigantic, like, monster. Legit, like, monster. This dude's, I mean, Godzilla.
And he has to be able to fight Godzilla.
Yeah, so they made him look bigger. He is bigger. He's getting bigger. I mean, I don't know if anybody else saw Kong Skull Island, but in that movie, he already looked huge.
Yeah, he was big.
I mean, that motherfucker was...
But they made him even bigger.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So, now we get to where they have to transport him. So, they're transporting by water. I guess side thing we should mention is Millie Bobby Brown is also in this, and she's doing this undercover stuff, listening to all these podcasts and like trying to like decipher the secret government stuff. I didn't give a fuck about that, but they had her side storyline, and she's chasing after this guy that works for. He works as was he like a janitor?
No, he wasn't. Was he a janitor over there?
I may be saying the wrong...
The guy that's doing the podcast?
Yeah, like I don't know what his job is. I didn't know if he was cleanup, he was like an engineer, but he's works there for some reason.
Yeah.
And she's following all that stuff, but that's just going on. But the more important stuff...
What was the company called? Because was that in Kong Skull Island too with John Goodman?
I'm not sure.
Monarch
is from Godzilla, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was also in Kong Skull Island.
Yeah,
right?
so it's the overlap, which is cool because like Monarch, when it's mentioned in King of Monsters, you see where all the Titans are and you see Skull Island on there, which is cool because it's like a small Easter egg there.
Was that the company he was working for though?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And so that's how he had all this, like he was just trying to speak as no one knew who it was.
Who was inside
so,
it.
But I don't know how many people were listening to it, but it was very conspiracy theory, but that's going on along the way, which I have my quirks with that. Millie Bobby Brown has a lot of star power, but I don't think that was even necessary.
Yeah.
But now we're transporting Kong.
Yeah.
And so what the fuck happens when we're transporting Kong, Justin?
So, remember how he was talking about how Godzilla senses things? Mm-hmm. Godzilla sensed it.
This man was pissed.
Oh, he's mad as fuck.
He was mad.
So, which, by the way, I do have, since we're talking about things that we didn't like about the storyline, this motherfucker was chained to like a boat trailer.
Yeah, they put him under and then he was chained up.
Like, and he wakes up. This dude, I mean, this is how you know he's smart. And how you know that Kong is not like your regular Titan. He was chained up with like cuffs and shit, like just on the back of
laying down.
Laying down. What's that gonna do? That's not gonna do anything.
I thought of that. He probably could have. He probably could have.
He would, like, if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
And obviously because of the relationship he has with this little girl, and he knows that these human beings probably really just want the best for him.
Yeah.
He didn't break out of him. He could have. Like, that's another thing, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna transfer him or transport him to whatever,
they needed
you don't need they didn't need to cuff him.
Yeah, he needed to be sedated though, and I guess because he didn't want. I don't know if he wanted to leave or not. But he's instantly compromised when Godzilla comes around, and he's chained up.
Oh yeah.
So that's crazy because like how is this man gonna get it? We have to the humans have to make a point at some point to say we have to let him go. Also, this whole movie has kind of the storyline of humans are the real bad guy.
Yeah.
Right. You keep getting humans are the real bad guy. It shows later in the film also. But they are trying to control Kong, and they're trying to control the Titans. Like, they have no business trying to use their power in this way. Because really, they're using Kong this whole time to get to Hollow Earth, right?
Yep.
They're using him to get to Hollow Earth, so they're wanting the deaf girl to be able to tell him, like, even, it's fucked up later, they get to where she tells him, your family may be down there, because they want him to say that, because they think that's the only thing that's going to get him to go into Hollow Earth. So stuff like that sticks out, and I'm like, it's really messed up to do that. So Godzilla comes by and just starts wrecking him.
Right. I mean,
right?
Just
like, not at first, yes.
Hold on. Am I getting my stories mixed up?
On the boat, in the water, on the boat. Is where we're at. He stands up and he's pounding on the boat when Godzilla comes.
Yeah.
And then Godzilla just starts wrecking him. He does eventually get out, but Godzilla brings him underwater.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. So he's like, Kong is compromised, getting brought underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla's not really using his atomic breath or anything right now. They're just throwing hands right now.
Obviously Godzilla lives underwater and Kong does not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he's smart. Godzilla also has a brain and brings him underwater, tries to drown him a little bit. I guess throughout that whole scene, so this is like the first scene that you see as two Titans clashing in this movie. And Godzilla's he wasn't trying to kill him. He could have.
I think at first he was.
Yeah.
So I have a reason I say that, because later, because there's a moment later where I think Godzilla shows mercy, and I think it helps.
Oh, at the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Closer to the end.
So I think Godzilla was trying to kill him, and then, because like what they do is they say turn off all vitals of the boat. Kong's just laying there. Let's make it so Godzilla doesn't sense a pulse. Because if Godzilla doesn't sense a pulse, he'll think they're dead.
Yeah.
So and then he'll leave. Because Godzilla, like, he's kind of it, and the storyline is really Kong based. The whole movie is Kong based, in my opinion. Godzilla is doing his own thing, but Godzilla's just angry because he senses another Titan, and he also is angry because he senses the stuff that Monarch's doing, which I don't want to spoil it just yet, because we're going to talk, but he senses that power and what they're developing over there, which is crazy to me. But I think we can comfortably say, and this is my opinion, you may share the same opinion, but Godzilla won round one between them. Out of the 3 rounds.
Godzilla won all 3 rounds.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it was 2-1, but it wasn't. It was a close. It was a forced 2-1.
Yeah.
Where to the point where someone in the story, was it Alexander Skarsgård, who's playing Dr. Nathan, has to say, well, Kong won that round. Like, Kong won that round, and then Godzilla gets up and starts whooping his ass again. So
yeah. So here's like my thing as far as like the story goes, right? It's like you're doing a thing where it's like Godzilla versus Kong, and obviously these are like two very, very, very powerful creatures. I hate so he hates that Millie Bobby Brown was in this movie.
I don't hate that she was in the movie. I hated the storyline.
Okay.
I think it was useless.
So you think it could have been a different storyline?
I don't think she added anything to the movie. There's one thing that her and the buddy she's running around with do add at the end. I don't think that was necessary at all. But we'll get to that also. But really, she's just running, like, she just gets transported to Hong Kong, where Kong is when they infiltrate Monarch. So all that stuff's happening, and like, it just doesn't make much sense to me, in my opinion. On, like, I understand they want some star power, but the deaf girl, and then who is it? Rebecca Hall is playing Dr. Eileen. Like, their storyline's perfect, and then you have the bad guys in Walter Simmons and Ren. Like, you have the bad guys that are your standard bad guys that are in the government, and like they're trying to take advantage of all this power, and that's what's driving them to bring Kong to Hollow Earth so they can harness that power.
Yeah.
That Kong is hopefully leading them to, right? So what were you getting to with that? You know.
Oh yeah, I was getting at the fact that like, so it's Godzilla versus Kong. It's like a big deal. Mm-hmm. You have these big titans. Probably of all the titans, of all the every titan that's in the MonsterVerse,
mm-hmm.
those are probably the two most iconic. Right?
For sure. With Ghidorah being the third.
Yeah. Why do you make Kong look weak? That's like my thing. Like,
I
don't
think that's
understand.
why. I think they were going to split the first 2 rounds regardless.
Yeah.
But it's tough when you literally have a movie called Godzilla King of Monsters and everyone knows Godzilla's the alpha. Mm. So in my opinion, Kong having put any bruises on Godzilla or actually doing a number on Godzilla is a win for Kong. Because like I don't think anyone expect him to win against Godzilla.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
There's too many weapons.
To me it just looked like even in the second round when he said, "Oh, Kong won second round," it's like even then it was just like it did. Yeah, it's crazy, and I'm just like, why? These are too tight. Like the biggest ones, the most important ones in the MonsterVerse. Mm-hmm. Yet you're trying to like. The matches isn't even close.
Yeah.
I get it though. Like at the same time, like you're right. It's Godzilla, King of Monsters.
Yeah.
So I guess he should be the most powerful.
But it is King Kong, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, fuck.
Who has a throne?
A literal. Yo. Okay.
So all right. We get to Hollow.
Okay.
Like so they transport Kong through the air, right?
Yeah.
And they get to Hollow Earth. That goes back to the deaf girl being told by Nathan and all the other people in Monarch, like, tell Kong that some of his family may be down there. He goes down there. It ends up being where he inhabits later after this movie. Like he lives in Hollow Earth and it's perfect. But his family's not down there. So that's screwed up that they were doing that.
Well, it's because it was. I mean, there's nothing there anymore.
Yeah, there's nothing there anymore. But his throne is there. His axe is there.
Yep.
And so
everything is there. He put it together. What did he? I don't remember exactly what he did. But when he
laid the axe down.
Yeah, he laid the axe down. Everything in it, like, so I guess this was like his kingdom.
Yeah.
Wherever, like, it was his home, like his actual home. So that's another question. How did he get to Skull Island in the first place?
I think the humans put him there. But I mean, Skull Island's an outlet from Hollow Earth. You know how Hollow Earth's in the middle, and then it has all these outlets where the Titans come out of. Ghidorah comes out of this one.
Yeah.
This one goes in the ocean where Godzilla comes out of. This one's where Mothra was birthed. Like, they're all outlets, and so it's kind of cool. You see the globe, and you see Hollow Earth in the middle where Kong was traveled to, and basically, like you do all that, and like it makes sense. Now you have somewhere where the Titans are from, which is cool because there's obviously other Titans down there, which I think is gonna be what they expand on later. But Kong puts his axe down, and you get all this power from around his throne, and that's what Monarch wanted, right? Monarch then starts tapping into the ground, taking it, and doing that, and that pisses Kong off.
That made me mad. That Hispanic, I mean, at first I was like, this bitch. I was like, yo, she is so fine. Whoever this girl was, like the Hispanic, there, I was like, it is. I mean, I love how you always look at her.
I always do.
Because she like. She says men are so hot all the time.
After the Leprechaun Jennifer Aniston thing, I had to do it.
She was like, I think we were just watching a movie just last night with James Marsden.
Oh, he's hot.
He's
hot.
Yeah.
James Marsden's hot.
Yeah. She was like, he's so fine.
Yeah.
I can say what the fuck I want. Like, what? As long as I don't touch nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus.
So you think, the Latina girl, is she Mexican?
I don't know. Latina is Mexican is Latina.
Yeah, but I just want to be grammatically correct these days.
Yeah, I don't. yeah.
So basically, like they try to get away, and Kong's pissed off. What does this man Kong do? Grabs their ship. Crushes it. Ooh, just crushes it.
Yeah, this dude isn't. I mean, obviously they tried to. They did try to show how powerful Kong was, and I guess they were just trying to show how much more powerful Godzilla was in this case.
But my favorite part now, and Mike word to Mike. Mike and I were dying about this because Godzilla had just got up to Hong Kong. So you have all these neon buildings lit, and Godzilla's out here sensing, like, he senses Monarch right there, the Hong Kong post, and then he also senses Godzilla or King Kong down underneath. So what does this man do? He uses his atomic breath to blow a 5,000-mile hole in the earth just to clap back at King Kong.
Yeah.
Just to get this man King Kong to come up and fight him.
This dude, I mean,
blows a hole in the earth just to get King Kong to fight him.
Yeah. Can you imagine? What if like there were Titans that were...
That'd be terrifying.
Would you be scared?
Yes. Like, did you see what they did to Hong Kong? Like, what if I was just out here during busy season working my 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. on a work night in the office, and I got Godzilla and Kong just out there fighting, and I got to worry about my life now?
I think it'd be dope. I would take videos. I would try to go out there, cool. Bro. I would be like, yo, who is this?
These are the people that die quickest in the movie. They die first in the movie.
Yeah. I would go see what it's about. Yep. I'm like, yo, seriously, if I saw a Titan outside, I'm like, yo, this is how I go out. It's my time, bro. This is like...
Ghidorah just turns you into ash.
Yeah. Or like Mothra's flying over me.
Mothra's nice, though. Mothra's nice.
Trying to pick me up. You know what I'm saying?
So therefore, no, I'm glad we had that discussion because I wanted to hear your perspective on that. Yeah. So the only thing Millie Bobby Brown and her storyline adds to this, because King Kong comes up with his axe, and that's also another thing, is like King Kong has his axe, and that's the equalizer because he really doesn't have anything to fight against Godzilla with.
No, he doesn't have superpowers like Godzilla. Yeah, it's just he's just a big gorilla.
Because Godzilla is literally a god. So
yeah, he literally, like you said, he has atomic breath.
So basically, and the atomic breath's badass. Love the atomic breath. But Millie Bobby Brown, they end up in the Monarch post, right? And then this is the payoff of the whole movie. We'll talk about this more in part 2 with our theories. But they find Mecha Godzilla, bro. We were talking about Mecha Godzilla. And Mecha Godzilla looked dope. And then we find out that's why they wanted to harness the energy from Kong.
Yeah.
They wanted
to try to, because
make him more powerful.
So this guy, I don't know, this old dude. Who's the old guy?
Walter Simmons.
Is that
Walter Simmons is the name of the character played by Demi and Bill Schiff.
I guess he got tired of these Titans. He didn't want to be. He thinks he's so smart. Like, obviously that was his character. And
turning it into a human, wanting to have the only Titan that is now a human governmental weapon.
Yeah. Because he's never gonna be able to control Godzilla. Like nobody.
You can't control Godzilla.
No. And that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to counteract Godzilla's powers. Mm-hmm. So he made Mecha Godzilla. Mm-hmm. You see this guy try to power him up. You see the dude with the podcast, Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, and the doors are like the building's been blown off, so they're just looking out.
Yeah, they're just looking, and it's crazy because I don't understand. They're literally, I don't know, probably 20, 50 feet away from Mecha Godzilla at this point. They're on the ground.
Literally see this man walking by.
Yeah, how the fuck do you not see three people? Like, also, this guy's weird. What are you doing hanging around with 12, 15-year-olds?
Yeah, no, he's nutty.
Yeah, he's definitely
he doesn't shower. He's really weird. He does have one cool plot point where he's I think his wife or girlfriend had passed away, and he has the canister of whiskey around his neck, and he's like, I'm saving this for when I want to drink it for a special moment. Yeah. And that comes up later. Part of my quirk on why you didn't even need it, but I wanted to mention that because it did put a lot of thought into it. And that comes up during the fight. But at this point, we got Mecha Godzilla is like, so we had Kong and Godzilla's round 2.
Yeah.
That we said, and then
you get, so as this is happening with
round 3 happens before Mecha.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, before Mecha goes out.
Yeah.
But round 3 happens because of Mecha. Mecha's so like they see the power that the Mecha's having underground or wherever they're at this point.
Yeah, in the
and
post.
Godzilla feels this.
Mm-hmm. Which that's what drew him over there.
Yeah, and so he thinks it's Kong again. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go try to fight. That's when you see your favorite part, which is the atomic breath through
the ground.
Yeah. And you just see it. And it's dope as fuck. Which I do have to touch up on this before we wrap this up because we're getting
time. We have 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, you see the breath in was it Hong Kong or is that New York City?
That was Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And you see it, and now you see God. Now then you see at this point, which is my favorite part, is when you see Kong on the building hanging off.
Yes.
And iconic.
Literally going back to the old story of Kong holding the mistress, the damsel in distress, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I made her a mistress randomly. The damsel in distress just on a building.
Yeah.
That part is so. We talked about after, like, we got Kong hanging on a building.
And like, yo, this is dope. And then, like, right after you see like the iconic breath go up into the sky. So now they're fighting round 3. And this is what he was talking about in the beginning, where Kong shows mercy. I mean, Godzilla shows mercy.
Which ends up being good. Godzilla ends up literally holding this man down to the ground, like after their third round. If you break them up into rounds, and Kong and them both just have a roaring match, and Kong is left there like basically dead. His heartbeat's going out, and then they use the ship to revive him. Well, I guess I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but Godzilla basically walks away because he's like, I'm gonna show you mercy because Mechagodzilla is who I need to deal with now.
Yep.
And so Mechagodzilla I hated this part because I'm a big Godzilla stan, but Mechagodzilla is whooping Godzilla's ass.
Oh yeah.
Whooping his ass. And I'm like, come on, like, let him put up a fight. But then they revive Kong, and then this man Kong comes in, and like he's got, and then he starts helping, and that's when they start getting the upper hand on Mechagodzilla.
Yeah. I don't understand why they made Mecha so powerful at this point either.
I guess it was years of research that they had put into him.
Yeah. Which is cool or whatever, but you're making the movie, you're made him super powerful. Everybody's expecting Godzilla versus Kong. Turns out Godzilla and Kong end up teaming up with each other to beat a robot, like an actual robot,
and Godzilla uses atomic breath and hits the axe. Because King Kong does the finishing number and like rips Mechagodzilla's head off and everything. So it's absolutely incredible, like that visual. Because he had done that in Hollow Earth. He ripped out the spine of one of the animals down there. So he did that with Mechagodzilla. Yeah. And it's like, but Mechagodzilla was compromised because the only thing that Millie Bobby Brown's storyline even added to this movie was that the kid that she's running around with grabs the canister of whiskey that we were talking about and pours it all over the motherboard, and that makes Mechagodzilla malfunction. Which I could have done without. We'll talk about that more in another part. I could have done without. I wanted them to beat him fair and square. I didn't think he
just those two. Yeah. Also, it really wouldn't have been fair anyway. It's 2 against 1, right?
But that's how powerful they made Mechagodzilla. Yeah. It was just crazy.
There was also a point to, like, I don't know if you guys know, but Kong has, like, you know how it's iconic, however Godzilla does like his breath or whatever. Yeah. Kong has like his iconic thing where he rips like your mouth. Yeah. Like why? Like yeah. So he almost did that.
Well, Mecha almost shoots his atomic breath or his laser breath into Godzilla's mouth, and then Kong comes over last minute and rips him away. And then that's insane. It's like Godzilla is like a second away from death. Yeah. So because he can't overpower.
And that's Godzilla did the right thing, showed him mercy. Yep. Kong saved his life.
And then they have a stare off at the end after they're done, and like Godzilla just like they kind of nod at each other, and then Godzilla goes away, and I'm like, this is amazing.
They're like human beings, and I'm like, fuck.
They're so aware.
They don't talk, and I'm just like, how can I be so in love with you?
Well, Godzilla
and like you just don't even say anything. Like
Kong signs, right?
Yeah, he does. He says "fuck you" literally all the time.
I wish I knew sign language. That would be so cool.
I can do my name. I think. I forget it.
Yeah. But anyway, at the end, then you get Millie Bobby Brown. Like everyone's okay, and like they're seeing this, all the civilians, and Millie Bobby Brown gets reunited with her dad, who's Kyle Chandler, who's everyone's favorite actor that no one actually knows who his name is. Yeah. But they get reunited, and that's where we end up. But the storyline to get them into being able to us just see like Lizard fighting Ape with Mechagodzilla, they did it.
Dope story, dope storyline. How they did it. I do just want to real quick, as you guys know how I feel about it. Their CGI was like a 12 out of 10.
It was fantastic.
It was insane.
The effects were insane. We're going to talk about that more when we talk about what we love, but my God.
Colors in it.
Yeah. So come back for our part 2. We're going to talk about
our theories.
Part 2, we're gonna talk about our theories and everything we thought going into it and what was portrayed on screen. And part 3, we're gonna talk about what we loved and rated. Like,
and I want to hear everybody else's theories too, because I'm sure we're not the only ones who had theories.
Yeah.
Like even before this, we were. Actually, I'll get into it in the next one. So before we go, I do have to. You guys shout out our sponsors. One of them. Brandon Jack, just be kicking it. I got this baseball jersey. He got his baseball jersey.
I don't have Brandon's on, but I need to get one.
Yeah.
They were in hot commodity, and I was missing my text messages those days, but they're straight fire. So
yeah,
go get you one.
Go cop his shit, bro. He's got shorts coming out too. Go follow him. Just be kicking.
He's got women wear rumored in the mill, so like that's gonna be awesome. I know Madison and Hannah are gonna have some, so. Get some of that. Go follow his Instagram page. It'll be plugged in the video. And until next time, check us out.